Good morning and happy Friday. For me, it's Thursday, but when this actually will get posted, it'll be Friday. And when you watch it, I really have no idea what day it'll be. I can't believe that we are already at the end of September and October 1st is next week. That to me is crazy. Super excited to get into fall and to all the holidays. I was talking to my parents last night about our holiday plans and where we're going to be for Thanksgiving and Christmas and when everything is happening. So that's fun. Of course, my dad is like, what should we get the babies? And I'm like, they are the easiest to shop for out of everybody. A 1 and 2 year old are extremely easy to shop for. You get them an empty box and they will be so happy. I swear, they play with the box more than they play with the toy that was inside the box. Kids are fun. If you watched my video on Monday of our weekly expenses, if I recall correctly, which is not always accurate, but I did mention that there is going to be a slight change moving forward for the next couple of months. So we are pausing the aggressive debt payoff at the moment. And that is because we have a number of things coming up that we know about. And some of them we know what it's going to cost and some of them we don't. But we have a number of things coming up. And so to cash flow those and to not put it on a credit card and to not get on monthly payments that'll take down our cash flow again, we're pausing the aggressive payoff. And we're going to just stack up that cash. So this is going to be a little bit different where I'm not going to put like the remaining balance is going towards it, my really large student loan. Well, really large is $12,000. My $12,000 student loan was going to be next. We're pausing that for a second. And for a second, I mean like the rest of the year, maybe January and February, we'll see where we are at that point, especially with like possible Christmas bonuses and tax refunds and stuff like that. But for October, now that it's going to be just slightly different, as always, my husband's income is the same at all times until I think I get my annual increase in April and he gets his in May. So until then, this is pretty standard what we bring home. And I'm changing it because his and hers was way too similar in my mind. So it's now his and me because I don't know. I feel like saying me is always just fun. So together, because I only get 2 paychecks this month, sad. Together we'll bring home after taxes and insurance and 401k contributions and everything, because we do we don't max out we get up to our employer match in both of our 401ks. So those are still going. I've been doing a net worth statement in January of every year, and I think I might film it in January. I'm still doing this in January, which I don't know. I have fun doing this. This is just for me. So I'll remember this time to put our 9,000. I have no idea why I did that. $9,760, not $69. So that'll throw off all my calculations at the bottom there. And then, you know what I'll stick at the top and do our debts. Our debts is, well, it's just our student loans. I include our mortgage in our normal budget categories. And other than our mortgage, our student loans are the only debt that we have. We've paid off credit cards. We've paid off our car, so we have no more car payments. I feel like there was a fourth thing. We did try buying a rental house for a short period of time, except for we closed on that rental house the day before we found out we were pregnant with our 2-year-old. So, obviously, we didn't no longer have time and money and effort to put into that. So we did end up selling that. So that was, I mean, it was a fun experiment. And it would be interesting to do again when have more free time and not 2 toddlers at home. So my student loan payment that I do is $420, and my husband's, now that his 3 highest interest rate loans are paid off, super exciting, is $212. So that's down like $80, which I think is super exciting. I love all my different colored pens. They're so much fun. I have them in all the colors. There's orange and purple and like 3 different shades of blue. This one happens to be my favorite. But into our normal monthly expenses. Our mortgage, which hopefully will not go up anymore this year, is $1,442. Even though when I bought this house 4 years ago, it was $1,250. And that was with like $80 of the mortgage insurance on it, and we don't have that anymore. We got that off. Our, as always, electric bill is $250. The best thing I did was request for that to be on level payments. I love that it's consistent every single month and I don't have to worry about it. Trash/internet, there we go, I can do this, is $152. Our trash bill is due at the beginning of October, so I've just been building that up every month, and the money's just been sitting there so that when it is due and I do go to pay it here like next week, all that money's already in there. We did when I do my budget closeout for September, you'll see I did shift some of eating out into groceries for September, mostly to cover our Sam's Club visit that we did that we don't do very often. So I'm hoping if I leave that at 900 and we're not going to Sam's Club in October, that should be okay. I'm amazingly hopeful and optimistic on this. Plus I'm like halfway through this 6-week challenge that I'm doing, which has an extremely restrictive diet too. And so at the end of that, I'll be able to eat cheese again. I'm so excited. I don't know why that's the thing I'm missing the most, but it's strictly like lean proteins, veggies, and then you switch out like a carb and a good fat, so like an avocado or extra virgin olive oil that you cook with, for like a potato, or half of a piece of fruit like an apple is in the carb category. Very shocking to me, but that's what I'm going through. And the super lean meats are much more expensive. I've discovered it's like 3 times more than just like a 85/15. The 93/7 is like 3 times more. It's ridiculous. I've switched over to ground turkey for the time being. School lunches, I think maybe that I will get out of September with this. So I have it set up to automatically reload $50 when the girls get below a certain amount. And what I did not account for when I did that was the wonderful fee that they tack on there at the end. So while I'm still keeping it as 2 refills a month, I am including the fee now, which is like $250, $275 like each time you do it for their servicing fee. So I'm just putting it at $105. On the app that my husband and I use, we do really go down to like the penny on some of these. Like, we know our phone bill is slightly rounded, but we know exactly what it is every month down to the penny, and that's what we track. I don't feel like that's helpful or necessary doing a budgeting video for YouTube to go that granular on my phone bill or our car insurance costs. Like, I do it in my expense tracking, but not in my overall budget on YouTube. Babies are getting $300 as per usual, and that is really, it's just formula, diapers. Oh, we need more diaper cream. And we have to stock not just our house, but also the daycare that they go to. So sometimes when I have to do a big restock, it can get kind of expensive. The kids are getting $50, and that is up because our 9-year-old, oh, I'm so excited to watch this. Our 9-year-old is doing the junior dance team. So the high school dance team invites like all the elementary and I think maybe the junior high kids to come and be part of the dance team. It's essentially for a week. So they go to their Monday, Thursday practices, and then that Friday they have a football game where the junior dance team does a little performance. And my 9-year-old wanted to do it, so that registration fee is going to come out of this. So I bumped this up a little bit, because they give them a little poster and a shirt, and it's super fun. And my teenager's on the dance team, so this will be super cute to watch my teenager and my elementary school kid together on a football field. I'm just so excited. Teenager's not as super excited about having her little sister there, but I am. And so is Dad. So that's what we're looking forward to watching that. School stuff, which I'm just contributing to like all year round at this point. And I haven't done that before, so I don't know if $50 a month is good for it, or if I'm gonna have just an astronomical amount of money for school supplies next year, or what. But there is a large school supplies and school fees that comes out in August, right? I think school fees was like $300 last year, or $305, something like that. So this is something that I would like to build up over the year, but it will also pay for field trips and fundraisers and things. Daycare, I'm debating this a little bit because the money actually comes out of our account on Mondays, but I've been counting Fridays for how to fund this, which I think I'll continue for October for right now, and then maybe in November I'll figure out something different. But right now October has 5 Fridays, which just means that I have to pay this 5 times. So it's $1,630, and that's for 2 kids, and that's 5 weeks. So our daycare costs are much, much lower than most of the rest of the country. I have a couple of team members, and their daycare cost was going to be like $4,000 for 3 kids a month. And I was like, oh yeah, that was ridiculous. I'm really glad that we do not have that problem. This medical category encompasses both like doctor visits and dental appointments. So between those two, it gets $100. And I'm just putting $100 here. The remainder of what's going to be left after all of these and after our student loan payments. While it's technically like medical because of a couple different procedures for different family members that are coming up, I'm not really putting it under the medical category because these are one-off things. Like our baby's getting tubes in his ears, and that's gonna be $1,400 for us after insurance pays most of it. So it's stuff like that, and it doesn't seem worth it to me to put it into the medical category to take it back out, and I'm just leaving that money to the side at the moment, and that's just what is going to work for us. If you like budgeting every last category, then you do you. That's great. I feel like for me right now, and with my 4 kids and with the stuff going on for us in this absolutely crazy time, it's just not worth the mental energy for me. But everybody's life and circumstances are different, and that's fine. And our car insurance, as always, $346 a month, which is not high. I know somebody's gonna say it's high, and they're gonna think it's ridiculous to pay that much. But it's 2 different insurance companies and like a dozen different cars. So it's not. Maintenance for our cars includes our tags or our registration for our cars every year, plus oil changes. And this $400 that we're putting away right now is because we know we're going to need new tires on the Subaru in December. And so we're just shoving cash away on that one. We'll get there. We'll get there by December, or in December, for the estimate of what new tires will be. Christmas, I'm gonna need to start actually pulling from this soon and actually start purchasing Christmas gifts. We don't purchase for everybody and their mother. We do both of our parents. We each have a sibling. I have a brother-in-law, our own kids, and then my very, very large extended family gets together. Oh, I get to go this year. I'm so excited. Gets together for New Year's. And because it's so large, we pull names. And so then we'll buy for the person / the family unit that we pull for. I always feel a little bad for whoever pulls our name. It does get broken up a little bit into the more adults and families and the more young adults, teenagers. So it's semi-fair that a 20-year-old in college isn't buying for my family of 6, right? That's not quite fair to them. They're buying for another 22-year-old who is just starting out on their career. Streaming is $60. I think I got a notification a month ago that one of our streaming services price was increasing. But I think there's $1 or $2 buffer in there, actually. I don't know. Well, I should pay more attention and write it down and make notes of it, and I just don't. I got so much other stuff going on. Household is $150. We might have actually a little left over this month from household. So if there is any rollover from September, it will get rolled over into this stockpile that we're trying to build just to cover everything. Gas is $300, and that's worked out really well this month. Spoiler alert if you are watching Monday's video, but my husband does watch these videos, I do not. I record them and I post them and I never watch them, but my husband does. So he went and put gas in the car, and just for me, just so I would mention it on a video, he did 99 cents. It was like $41.99. He's like, I did that just for you. I was like, thank you. I was like, you couldn't do one more penny, just one penny. No, he did it just so I would mention it on a video. Thank you, hun. Eating out this month, we'll get 200. I don't think, the only thing in October that might blow this up a little bit is our teenager has she has 3 different marching band competitions, and that does involve them being gone for a significant amount of time, and so they do need food. But I do think they do ask for parent volunteers for food too, so we'll see. Hopefully it doesn't quite completely blow it out of the water, but clothes, I always just put a little bit away, $25 a month at this point, and it's still hovering around $100. And that, I just like having that little cushion if my kids come to me, and I think my 9-year-old always seems to come to me and say she needs new pants, or she wants a new dress, or she needed new shoes last weekend. So it's always something. Somebody always needs something, and the babies are growing like crazy. So I like just always having a little bit of a cushion in there. Coffee's $25. We did go through that this month. We went through that at the beginning of September. Whoops. So my kids have not been able to get anything. Dance is $250, which should be okay for October. Their monthly dance tuition is like $240, so this leaves a little bit of buffer for when dance team needs something. But that's a little bit more sporadic and can't quite be planned for. Home projects. I wish that this one was a little bit lower, but we're almost done. Well, we still need to paint the bottom cabinets. But painting the top cabinets was fine. The doors came off for like 2 days. It was fine. The bottom cabinets, we have a toddler, and we work during the day, so we are trying to figure out how to paint the bottom cabinets without the toddler just ruining them immediately. Like, hands on them while they're still wet, and pulling everything out of the cabinets as we take the doors off, because we have to take the doors off. So it might end up being painted in stages, because we created an island, so that might get painted in one stage, and then half of the bottom cabinets and then the other half. I don't know yet. We're still figuring that out. We already have the paint for it. What we need is the wall paint. Since a wall got taken down, it had to get where it was, had to get patched and everything. And where cabinets got moved. And backsplash, and then finally the like little handles and stuff for all the doors and drawers, which we've never had in this house, so we were both very excited to have them. But that's why this is $200 instead of like $50, as a maybe something will come up. So I'm looking forward to that being lower again. Dates is getting $50, and we never did take a big date after paying off our car. A babysitter is just very difficult for us. And we always feel a little bad for a babysitter, having a toddler and the baby. But we've been doing like coffee dates every once in a while, and like these little things. Breakfast dates we did once. since all the kids are in school, and it's nice just to have like a little bit of time in the morning. Special events also gets 50. And I don't think there's anything in October except for, I mean, obviously there's Halloween. But my kids are like thrifting their costumes themselves. I'm like, okay, you go, you do you. So I think my 9-year-old wanted to be the Sorting Hat from Harry Potter at one point, because we do have the Sorting Hat. So, and our other catch-all is just $150 as per usual. So maybe I should have changed my bottom one, but I didn't. Maybe I should have added also. So my standard categories total $7,428. And that leaves the remaining $2,332. And that's before you take out our student loan payments, which I have no idea how this happened. But if you take out our student loan payments, it's exactly $1,700. I have no idea how that happened. It's amazing. I would like there to be rollover from September. I would like some of these categories not to need as much, but there's not a whole lot of trimming that I can really do except like eating out. You can put off home projects, but we're trying to get it done before my family comes out in November. My dad is a veteran. He comes out and has Veterans Day breakfast at the elementary school with our 9-year-old. And we're doing a huge birthday party. We have so many birthdays in November in our family, so we're doing a big birthday party while they're out here. So we're trying to get that done before they come out here, which means we have like a month and a half. So, and in fairness, we started this kitchen project back in March. So, I mean, it's fine. It's functional. Like we moved my husband and my mother moved cabinets around and put in new countertops and an island and took out a little wall that we had. Our kitchen was super tiny before. So it's amazing, and I cook in it most days. And it's so much more functional and so much better. It's just with our life going on and our kids and all their activities and work and everything, it's just these finishing things like painting the cabinets and putting up backsplash we've never had backsplash before. So it's these little things that are just kind of nice to do's, but not necessary for its functionality anymore. So it'll be fine. We'll get there. Hopefully before my parents show up. But yeah, this remaining $1,700, instead of going towards my student loan, is going to go towards just some procedures and things that we have coming up. And that's just life. Like, right, things come up, plans need to get shifted slightly. We are way ahead of our timeline that we had, so we don't feel too bad about it. It is a little annoying, but I would rather just pay for these things and not have to worry about it than trying to pay down my student loans and then getting more payments. right? Because once you start trying to pay everything off, the last thing that you want to do is get more payments. So that will do it for my October budget semi-rant on life and everything. I hope that you have a fantastic weekend, and thank goodness we're in fall. I'm so looking forward to fall. Fall is wonderful. And I lost my train of thought, and that's fine. Have a great weekend. I'll see you back on Monday. Bye.